everybody, my name is Kat Blackwell. I'm a first year in Columbia College, partnering with Columbia Admissions to make some videos for prospective students. This is the third video in a series of 3 videos about the Columbia first year experience. This video is about what it's like to be a student in New York City. So I asked my friends, what's your favorite thing about living in New York City and why? None of them came up with just one favorite thing. I hope you enjoy.
I feel like it would be impossible to sort of describe life at Columbia without talking about New York City.
I knew that going to school in New York City was going to be amazing basically during my first week.
Best part of going to school in New York City is that, I don't know, it's New York City, so it's not just a college town.
Obviously, like, the greatest thing in the world. Like, you're literally in New York City, like, where there's so much talent and culture and food. Food! There's so much food!
Like on the weekends, I like to go see a lot of the museums. Like we get into a lot of them for free.
So okay, like in the city, there's literally everything. So there's like tons of museums like everywhere, and you have access to like most, if not like all the ones that you want to go to because Columbia is amazing at that.
On a Friday after class, you can go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art and just wander around for hours looking at some of the world's masterpieces of art, and that's just an afternoon activity where, you know, most places that would be like a tourist trip, something that you have to save up to do.
All my friends are at museums like every other day, like whether it's because of class or just because they want to go to a museum. And that's crazy because you can't do that at other schools because they don't have that many museums, and there's like 50 here or like more.
Like the Met or to the MoMA, to the Whitney, all these museums that are world renowned that I could just visit on a whim is so exciting.
Probably more. There's more than 50 museums here and you have access to a lot of them.
Another great part about Columbia that I love is they have lottery where you can win tickets to see shows downtown. So earlier in first semester I won tickets to see the Red Shoes Ballet, which is a totally awesome experience.
You're always surrounded by just so much all the time.
To go to Brooklyn and go thrift shopping, and to go to random pop-ups that, you know, come into Soho or the Lower East Side, and to sit in cafes in Greenwich Village. Those things are just iconic, and that you never be able to do anywhere other than New York City.
It's kind of an experience that you're not going to get anywhere else, and I think that's something that's very unique to Columbia, especially because, like, yeah, there are other schools in New York City too, but they're not Columbia, so...
Lots of my friends, even as freshmen, already have internships or jobs downtown. And it's always exciting. There's never a boring moment because there's always so many things to do here. And I think the energy of the city definitely comes on campus too, and people are always, you know, trying to do something new and take advantage of all these opportunities.
You're in New York City, there's like a concert every like 10 minutes. The city like has a lot of big buildings. If you're into big buildings, that's there's no shortage of big buildings.
I found a lot of amazing places to study.
And small buildings, we have those too. We have lots of varieties of buildings.
Something I particularly love is getting to see so many performances downtown. As a dancer, I like to take classes in New York City.
Lots of famous buildings. Really doing great here.
Anything that you want, literally anything that you want, is somewhere in the city.
It's so easy to just walk outside the gates and get on a subway or walk down to Central Park, and you can just experience so many amazing things so quickly.
So to be able to just hop on the 1 train, which is right on campus essentially, there's a stop, a Columbia University stop, to just go outside of my dorm, get on the subway, go somewhere in the city and do whatever I want to do somewhere is amazing. So I'm not just confined to a little campus or whatever. I have all of New York City, I have all of New Jersey and Connecticut. Like, we're so connected, and you don't need a car. It's public transit, you can get anywhere and do anything. I think that's the best part, is that it's limitless.
My favorite thing about living in New York City is the connectivity to different communities within the city. For example, on Fridays when we don't have classes, I work with a nonprofit called Youth for Debate, and I teach debate in public school classrooms around New York City. Outside of the immediate Columbia communities, there are so many ways to get involved with issues and make impacts on things that you really care about. Plus, as my friends so kindly stated, you're in New York City. You can do absolutely anything you want. There's so much stuff to do. I hope that now you have a better idea of how Columbia students interact with the New York community as a whole and how it's just integral to our education. That brings us to the end of our video series. I really hope that it was helpful. Remember that you can follow Columbia Admissions on Twitter at Hamilton Hall and Instagram at Columbia Admissions. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kat Blackwell signing off, and I hope you have a great day.